Good morning, DFS Army. It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here for another NBA First Look. NBA is back finally. Had a nice little break though. Hopefully, recharge those batteries. Get ready to come after the second part of the season here. Again, just a 2-game slate here for going on here on Wednesday. So we got a big 11 gamer tomorrow, but they tend to always do this to us when they open the season up or coming back from All-Star break. We tend to have these short 2-game slates. So I'll go over some totals here, some injury news, and then I'll just go talk about lineup construction for both DraftKings and then both Fanduel. Just being a 2-gamer, I think that's probably the best way to do it. And then tomorrow we'll get back on the hog with an 11-gamer, massive slate, and break that game by game just because it's so big. But again, it's just nice to have NBA back, and let's just dive right into this thing. All right, before I get started, if you like these videos, man, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Turn that notification so you know when I upload these videos. Going to put this out. I'm going to put some props out and going to look at a little bit of prize picks as well. As you can see, I got a little swag on today. So make sure you check out these videos, man. I'm going to keep cranking these things out. Baseball's coming up here soon, so we're going to be knocking out some baseball videos daily as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. So it's going to be a real busy summer with NBA extended into this. But let's just knock out this 2-gamer. Again, 2 games. We got Washington at Memphis, 237 over under. Memphis favored by 3. And then the second game, which is kind of weird. You know, we have a game that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and then 8:30. You would think that if NBA was going to do this, they would kind of stagger these so you could watch one at a time. But hey, it's the NBA. What are we going to say? Then the second game is the Spurs at Dallas, 222.5 over under. Dallas favored by 4.5. And this opened like at 217. It's already been bet up to 222.5. If you're going to get different in a 2-gamer, this is where it's at. Now, Spurs are a little bit healthier. Rudy Gay is probable. Derek White is probable. Devin Vassell is out. That's really the only Spur that we have to worry about. So they're a different team. They were out, if we look back before the All-Star break, we had a good chunk of guys that were out with COVID protocol. So Spurs getting healthy here. I think it's going to be a little bit harder to peg some of that value, but with everyone's going to gravitate towards the Memphis-Washington game, and for good reason. But I think to get different, you're going to have to find some of these pieces in the Spurs-Dallas game here. So again, we'll start on DraftKings here and kind of lineup construction, kind of find where things are going to go, where the value could be, where we could find a little bit of value, because these studs are expensive. Luka Doncic is 10-7, Russell Westbrook is 10-1, John Morant 7-8. From this point guard position, Murray is 7-5. So there's a couple spend ups here. Do we want to try to fit Westbrook or Luka in? With Dallas, being more healthy, I think again a lot of people are going to gravitate more towards the Washington Memphis game, which again I completely understand. So guys like, are you going to take Westbrook or Luka? Westbrook's probably going to be more popular because he's a little bit cheaper. He's been on close to a triple double almost every damn game. Just missing it barely, but 64, 58, 47, 60. They just played on March 2nd. He put up 58. Didn't quite have that triple double. They ended up losing 125 to 111, but had a great assist game there. Easy double for him. So, I still think he's probably going to be a little bit more popular. So let's just throw Westbrook in this lineup as we're building it. We'll throw him up at point guard. And then we're like, okay, well, we got to find some value because we only have 5-7 left here. On these 2-game slates, if we can't find value, one thing that's good to do is maybe go more mid-range if you can find some of these guys as well. So that's another option we can look at. But one thing on the Memphis game, there's no Grayson Allen or Jared Jackson Jr. For Memphis. So I still think we could get some Winslow run here. He's only 3,900. Point guard, small forward eligible. Again, that small forward position is kind of a bear to play. So if we can throw him in here, what the heck? We'll throw him at small forward at 3,900. Leaves us with 6K left. I think he's going to be pretty popular. Hasn't been playing a ton of minutes. He's been playing like low 20s, 24, 21, 21. Put up 23, 17, 29 fantasy points. So, again, it's hard to find good value on a slate like this. So you might find, I think he's going to be popular because of it. And that's why maybe it's good to look for some of these mid-range plays to get a little different. So like on the Memphis side, John Morant's 7-8, Joval is 7-1. If we look what Joval did against Washington on March 2nd, he put up 35 fantasy points in 29 minutes, which, isn't great, but isn't too bad for price. So he's a guy that we can look at. And with no Jaren Jackson Jr., should get more run. I like Clark as well. He's more of an athletic big. He put up 31 fantasy points in 34 minutes against Washington. I think it fits his skill set a little bit better. So I'm going to throw some Clark here in this power forward position. Again, you're going to want some of this game. I think more people will go to Morant and Joval than they will Clark. But again, you're going to have to find some value. And, in a game like this where it gets up and down, I think he's a good option here without having Jackson Jr. back. So if we look over, trying to figure out where we're going to run the shooting guard position here. Bradley Beal's 9'4", Brunson's 5'7". I have a hard time running Brunson with everyone back from Dallas, so not on DraftKings at 5'7". It's hard to go there. I think one guy we could look at, I don't know how much run he's going to get, but we could look at Derek White. He's 5K. Again, he was sitting out for those COVID protocols for a while. So if they run him back, 25, 30 minutes, he could be an option that we could look at here. Just looking at, the fantasy points per minute, for the season, he's at 1.05. If we can see 25 minutes out of him, maybe we can get 25, 30 fantasy points out of him. I don't think that's awful bad. Dallas has been horribly defensively, so I think we can attack him very well. But, with Derek White coming back, it's going to hurt Walker. It's going to hurt a lot of these guys. Patty Mills is still going to get run. He's going to get rerun regardless, so I ain't really worried about Patty Mills. He's going to get his 20 to 22 minutes off the bench. But I think Derek White, it's going to mess up more of these guards on the Spurs. What's going to be hard to pick the value. So like DeJounte Murray's great and all at 7.5, but when you have DeRozan there, Derek White, Murray, Mills, Rudy Gay, it just Pop can go 20 to 25 minutes on all these guys. I think DeJounte Murray minutes are probably the most safe. Him and DeRozan. But, I don't want to pay 8K for DeRozan, and I don't want to pay really 7.5 for Murray. I'd rather pay 7.5 for Murray than 8K for DeRozan, I guess, if I'm picking one of them. But I think a sneaky guy could be Derek White coming back. People may be a little scared of how many minutes he's actually going to play. So that could be something that could do in our favor. So we'll throw him in this lineup here. Josh Richardson's right there as well. I don't mind him. But again, he should play a ton of minutes on the other side. But, he's, 0.74 fantasy points per minute for the season compared to 1.05. I think he could be a little more popular because he's going to be secure for, low to mid 30s minutes. He's probably the safer bet if you're going to pick one guy, but White I think has the more upside and a lower own play. So I'm going to slide White in this lineup. We got 64.50 left. Again, that's with throwing Westbrook in here and throwing Winslow. At the center position, Kristaps at 8.6. Like I said, Joval at 7.1. I don't mind him. Jakob Poeltl, I don't mind him at 6K. I still don't think they're going to run a lot of LMA out there. LMA could still come off the bench, man, but he's, playing, again, 20 minutes. We could see 20 minutes out of Rudy Gay. We could see 20 minutes out of LaMarcus Aldridge. We could see 20 minutes out of Walker. I think Lyles is going to get no run. I wouldn't run him out there. Keldon Johnson is back, so he's going to get 20, 25 minutes. It's just really hard to pick these Spurs, and I don't want a ton of them on the slate at all. I think I would make a rule in my lineups that I don't want no more than 2 Spurs in my lineup. I wouldn't want more than that at all. And hell, I wouldn't even mind making 1, but I mean, on a 2-game slate, I don't like to make a lot of rules, but that might be one that I would run just because I don't think in the nut lineup you're going to have a bunch of these guys. So, coming down here, and we could always guess which Washington center is going to do something. We got Mo Wagner, Alex Len, Robin Lopez. They're all priced super cheap. So if you're going to take a shot at them, Len would be the bottom one. I wouldn't run him. He would have to, you never know what Scott Brooks is going to do. Who is he going to start? I think if we go back, I want to say, Wagner in this game on March 2nd ran 11 minutes, put up 11 fantasy points. Robin Lopez put up 14 minutes and 16 fantasy points against Memphis. And then Alex Len, 19 minutes and put up 18 fantasy points. So, again, I think whoever starts is the guy that I would want to take a shot at. So once we get the starting lineup, and if we figure it's going to be Lynn or Lopez or Mo Wagner, whoever it is, they're cheap enough that they can get there. And if we're looking for some value to take a chance at, you can take a chance at one of these guys. It's not a Boban night. Going up against the Spurs, it's not going to be a Boban night. They don't need his size, so I wouldn't look there. Again, Trey Lyles, he's not going to get hardly any run with all these guys back. Kleba, I guess you could always look at. He's always plays a ton of minutes. He's 4,300. 21, 33, 19, 14 his last four. I just have a hard time playing the guy, but on a 2-game slate, when a guy that, probably know is going to see, mid-20s minutes, he's been 0.74 fantasy points per minute. There's worse plays to go. So at 4,300, I guess you can look there. Rui's the guy that's really hard to play, but again, he's the next guy when it comes in the pecking order from Westbrook and Beal in minutes in production. Rui at 5,300, but 15, 13, 12, and 16. There's just shots are not there. It's just because it's Westbrook and Beal. So I think I'm probably going to go down in the center position. If I'm not going to come up to Joval, I think Joval would be the guy that's spinning up on. I'm not going to play LMA or Hachimura. I think I would look at Lyles or punting one of these Washington guys, whoever starts. And then the other thing you could always do, if you think Joval, and this is just a play that you're kind of hoping Joval gets into foul trouble, right? Like make a rule. I don't want, maybe you bump up Gorgie Dang's projection and hope that he kind of gets some, like, I don't know. You kind of have to hope that Joval gets into foul trouble. I don't think he's going to see any minutes because we got a lot of guys back, but it's one of those 1 in 150 plays where you're like, hey, maybe he gets into foul trouble here. My big issue is, he could get you a fat zero and not play. He hasn't played in the last, handful of games. So, again, it's just, you're going to feel more comfortable playing one of these Washington guys that starts. The problem is which one is going to get the most minutes. You never know with Scott Brooks. He'll run all three of them out there. So I would say in tournaments, you're kind of looking right here. But Maxi Kleba is probably the guy that if you're punting, you feel good in cash games. I'm not going to put up a massive score, but we've seen some. I think that pod that I said you're not going to win a GPP with Maxi Kleba, and then he said hold my beer, and he scored those 33 fantasy points, and I was sitting there just like, yeah, I'm going to get roasted for this, but he doesn't have those big games that often. But on a 2-gamer, you don't mean massive games out of everybody. So we got 7160 left if we do this out of punting Clark, Kleba, Winslow. Again, White's your kind of wild card here. Going back to guard, I think you're going to want to bring it back with probably Murray or Ja Morant here. I'm going to throw Ja Morant in this game. If we see what he did against Washington, he put up 58 fantasy points against Washington. He thrives in these games where they're pace up matchups. And I think we can just go right back here. He's going to be super popular at 7,800. I prefer him over Joval. I think you could run Joval and him together if you want to run him and Joval out there together. But I think I'm picking one. I'm just picking Morant and throwing him out there. I think the upside's way higher than Joval in this matchup. So I have no problem going him. And then again, we got 6,850 for 2 spots here. Where are we going to go? This forward position, like I said, I don't want to pay $8K for DeRozan. Porzingis, he can get it going anytime, but 8,600 is expensive. Like, you haven't seen him pay off his tag. 37, 40, 33, 33. These are decisions that you can make when you're running 150. Porzingis is going to have ownership. He could be 30, 40, 50% owned. If you completely fade him and hope that he doesn't get you, doesn't get a 50 burger, because I think that might hurt you a little bit in a 2-gamer. But if he gets 33 to 40, I don't think he's going to hurt you at all. And if you fade him, those are the hard decisions that you have to make, but those are decisions that can win you tournaments. So keep that in mind, that I don't like that price tag at all for Porzingis on a 2-gamer. But again, it is the Spurs, and they're not very good in the front court at all. So it wouldn't surprise me if he decided to have a game. But I would definitely make a rule that I don't want Porzingis and Luka in the same lineup. So if I'm running Porzingis in the lineup, I don't want Luka because I don't think they're both going to hit their ceilings at price. So I definitely don't want them together. Kyle Anderson, 6,300 over here on DraftKings. The minutes have been down. You know, I have a hard time. He's coming back. Played 26 minutes against Milwaukee in that first game back. I don't know how many minutes they're actually going to run him out there. You know, if it's mid-20s minutes, he's been, 1.09 fantasy points per minute. Slow-mo, though, goes against Washington. It's hard to play him, but, I guess I could look at playing him. Brooks can always get hot. I always like playing Brooks. He put up 31. Got real hot against Milwaukee. Again, you beat him by the three-point line. Only hit one of them, which is crazy. 3 blocks, 3 steals, 7 assists, 50. So he's been pretty hot before the All-Star break. But put up 31. I don't mind putting him out here at all. So let's throw Brooks in this lineup. Brooks, Morant, Winslow, Clark. I know we're kind of loaded up here. Westbrook on the other side. Got 8,300 left. This is where, like I said, I don't want to play DeRozan. But, 8,300 left. Maybe you throw DeRozan in this lineup. He would fit just fine. If it's a last piece, I don't mind it. I wouldn't build around it. Or if you said, I don't want to go Maxi Kleba here, maybe I want to go Alex Len starts, and then it leaves me at 9,500 left, and then I can run up Beal, which would be really nice, and I kind of like that lineup. But Alex Len would have to start for me to even think about doing something like that. So, again, I kind of feel like just going through this on DraftKings, I don't think I want to pay up for 2 studs like a Westbrook, Luka, or something like that. I think you can, but I would prefer to go a mid-range guard of Morant. I think Morant Westbrook's probably my favorite combo. I think it's going to be a lot of people's favorite combo. And then you're kind of looking, then it's mid-range. I like Clark. I like Brooks for this Memphis team. And then White could be the sneaky guy coming back. And if he gets hot, maybe Pop leaves him out there a little bit longer. It's just be careful with the Spurs, with them being fully healthy. It's hard to say what they're going to do going up against Dallas. And again, they got the lowest implied team total at 109 right now. So I would be careful with that. And then center. I think center's option, you got to think of, are you going to go Porzingis or Joval? Or are you going to come down here in the lower range with a Kleba or one of these Washington guys, whoever's going to start? I think that's the way you're going to build in your cash or single entry. Again, head on over to DFSArmy and sign up using promo code CashGig, save 10%. Got some new things going on. We changed the cheat sheets up a little bit if you want to see them. Brought some of the old sheets that we did last year back to include the new sheets. So, and we've added a new coach as well. So, if you want to come over and check that out, again, head on over and sign up and see what we got going on. We got big things coming. Working on a few new tools that could be really big as well. Hopefully we'll get them done in the next couple weeks. But again, this is how I see the DraftKings lineup folding out. And let's head on over to Fanduel real quick. All right, Fanduel. First thing I noticed here when I opened this crap up this morning, Fanduel. Luka is not a small forward, brother. He never will be a small forward. Never. But he's a small forward. I don't know if they went on a bender and started drinking. Like, what the hell? Like, it's great where you build lineups and you don't have to decide 2 of them when it comes to Westbrook, Morant, Murray, and Luka. But he's not a small forward. No. Just stop it. All right? Get your shit together, please. Please. All right. With that being said, Luka, small forward is a dumpster fire, right? He's going to be super popular. So we might as well throw him in at small forward, even though he's not a small forward. I think you're going to throw him in at small forward here. I think the next combo you're going to go is Westbrook up here at point guard. John Morant, like I said, he's 8K on FanDuel. Westbrook is 9,800. DeJounte Murray's 8,500 on FanDuel. Derek White's 5,600. Jalen Brunson's 5,400. I think you don't get cute here on FanDuel at the point guard position. I think you're playing one of these top 5 guys. I would have the most Westbrook easily here. And Morant. I mean, those are the 2 guys that I would just want 70% plus. And then Murray and White, I don't think I would want them together on FanDuel because I think if one's going off, it's hurting the other one. So maybe this is a rule you make one of DeJounte Murray or one of Derek White. And then Brunson can always do things, but with him fully back, I don't know exactly how many minutes that dude's going to get. So again, if you're playing 150 lineups, by all means, But I think if you're playing just a couple, I'm going to start with Westbrook and Morant in most of my lineups. And the next guy is probably White and then Murray. Those guys are the next tier. But I'm starting with Luka at small forward. I mean, it's just, that's what I'm going to do. Over at shooting guard, again, Bradley Beal at 10-5. A lot of that's just going to go to Westbrook for me. I'm not going to go there. I'll look down at this Brooks area. Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench. Patty Mills, shooting guard. No Fanduel. No. He's a point guard. Stop it. All right. But Patty Mills is a shooting guard. Thank you. I'll throw him at shooting guard. I love that. He's going to play 20 minutes. You give me 20 minutes of Patty Mills, I'm all for it, man. No problem playing that. We could see Bane start again. I don't mind looking at, if you want to play a little Bane, 3,500. He's going to be in play as well. But Patty Mills, I like that option at, one of these cheap guys. I'm probably going to take Dylan Brooks and pair him one with Patty Mills, or down here with Desmond Bane if he gets to start again. So that's kind of where I would look at shooting guard. Lonnie Walker, I'm not going to play with all these Spurs back. Again, I don't think I'm going to be spinning up here to Beal or DeRozan. Melton, apparently he's a shooting guard now as well. What the junk. Might as well just make them whatever they want and just build the lineup. Just take all the positions away. How about that? Just build whoever you want. I get it. I had this discussion the other day. I know I'm going to go off on a little bit of rant here and a tangent on a sidebar here, but the NBA is positionless basketball now. It really is. With all these stretch 4s and 5s that can shoot the 3, there's a lot of switching. That DVP first position doesn't mean a whole lot like it did a few years ago. That's something that I've been really weighing on, with projection models and projections, and guys in the NBA are going to get their matchups that they want, through picks and switches and running different offensive schemes. So I don't think it's as important as it used to be. So, even though I'm getting on FanDuel, it's not. It's like more of, how many points does a team give up in the paint? How many points do they give up at the 3-point line? That's what I'm going to be focusing more on than any of these defense first positions, just with the way that the NBA is going these days. But anyways, that's here near nor there. I'm going to go this route. It's, again, going to be Brooks and one of these at Patty Mills, or again, down here to Desmond Bane if he gets the start. I don't think he will, but that's why I just like Patty Mills. Patty Mills' minutes are always going to be secure off the bench. He's always going to be the guy I'm going to look at. But 4K, I'll throw him down here. Again, small forward is a dumpster fire. It's Luka, and then it's like Kyle Anderson, Kelvin Johnson, Josh Richardson, Rudy Gay, Rui Hachimura. Winslow's 4,800. I don't like that. Finney Smith's 4,600. I think we can look there. There's just a lot of meh plays here. I think you're going to be looking at the second spot, probably like a Kyle Anderson or a Josh Richardson or Rudy Gay. I would lean more Richardson and cash or Kyle Anderson just because I think their minutes are going to be more secure. Richardson's minutes are going to be super secure, so I don't mind running him out there at 5,400. We got 5,400 left. Things that we're going to do here. Again, I'm talking about fading Porzingis. I have no problem fading Porzingis to get Morant, Westbrook, and Luka. I think all those guys can go for 50 plus. I don't think Porzingis is going to do it. I think Porzingis is going to be super popular because there's not a whole lot going on here at the power forward position. So more of a fade on DraftKings for me where you can play anyone than on FanDuel. But if I'm building one lineup, I might fade him and go this route, and go start with my Brandon Clark love at 6,200. And go that route. We still got 5K left. And then we're looking at here, Bertans can always get hot at 5,200. I don't mind some Aldridge at 5,500. Again, I don't think he's going to play a ton of minutes, but, if he's going to come off the bench and play, play 20, 25 minutes and he can get you 24 to 30 or whatever, I'm okay with that on FanDuel. We'll just have to kind of see as the day progresses. Again, we got an 8 p.m. Eastern start time lock. So, but I think you look at him, again, Bertans can always get hot. He put up 16 fantasy points in 28 minutes. Again, he's a 3-point shooter. He has to get hot, but he can put up put 46 against Denver, put up 25 against Boston. So he's a guy who's got to be in your pool, but he's either going to score a ton or he's not going to do a damn thing for you. So he's not a cash guy by any stretch of the imagination. I wouldn't play cash on a 2-game anyways. If you do, I would play a lot of head-to-heads, 3-mans, and that way I wouldn't play a lot of, double ups or things like that. But I wouldn't look there. Maxi Kleba, again, 5K. I hate that price tag on him, but he should see some minutes. Wagner, again, 4K. If he was able to get the start, he would be my second power forward easily. I would just throw him in there. I think you can throw Mo Wagner in there regardless at 4K. I don't think he's going to kill you. But again, it all comes to minutes. Look at him, 19, 11, 12, 11, 18, 25. If he starts, he's almost a lock for me because he's probably going to get over 20 minutes and he should be one of the better values on the slate. But if he doesn't start, it's going to be very risky here. You know, we got James Johnson at 4,200. You know, his minutes have been all over the place. We don't know what Carlisle's going to do. But with him being back, he's the kind of guy we can look at 4,200 in tournaments. Kleba's probably your safest bet, which I hate to say that at this 5K range. There's not a whole lot of upside, but we'll throw him in here. And it leaves us with 5K at center. And again, Alex Lynn. If Alex Lynn got the start or Lopez, I don't mind looking at one of these guys. I think Joval is the clear-cut center if you're going to look at it, but then you have to look at where you're going to cut anywhere else in this lineup. So let's throw Joval in this lineup and kind of figure out where we could cut to get down. You know, if we took out there, come up here and look at maybe Josh Richardson. We got 4,200 left. Maybe Mo Wagner does start, and we could throw him in here. And then at small forward leaves us 4,400. It's a dumpster fire when you throw Joval in this lineup. I'm not sure I love it. I think I would rather kind of figure things out. Yeah, I guess unless you got down off of Brooks, I don't think they have the upside, and I don't think he's going to start. But if we did see Desmond Bain start and we went like a Mills-Baines combo, and then we went Joval this way, and then power forward 5,100 left where we can get the Kleba this way. I guess that's a way to do it. But we would have to get Desmond Bain starting, and I don't think he's going to start. I think that they will start Anderson. But in a case that they did, this would be kind of what I would look at building. So, again, I think if I go back and just look at where I'm starting with my studs, I'm going to start with Westbrook, Morant, Luka. And then I'm going to look at Brandon Clark as the next guy I'm throwing in at power forward because I think I'm going to fade a lot of the Porzingis here and go a lot of Brandon Clark at 6,200. So, again, that's where I'm looking at. 2-game slate, nice and easy to get it started. Massive contest, man. I mean, this is the $4, 200K up top. DraftKings has a $10 entry for 250K up top. So massive money to be made. You know, I think there'll be a little more ties on Fanduel than there will be DraftKings. So, get out there, build some lineups. Hope you win some money. And again, if you like this content, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification on. And hopefully I can help you win some money. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you on the flip side. Deuces.